The athletic Duncan Robinson embraces the razor's edge. It's fueling a new chapter with Pistons. Duncan Robinson is heading to Detroit, bringing with him the mental side of his game as he balances anxiety with excitement for this next chapter. Life for Duncan Robinson has been a balancing act. He understands he's worthy of all the success he's achieved. But an earlier version of Robinson, the one who struggled to find consistent playing time in high school, still creeps into his mind. It's a constant battle, fueled by anxiety, that has allowed Robinson to build an 8-year NBA career after going undrafted in 2018. He's used it to help him accomplish his childhood dream. Robinson has long been intimate with anxiety. The two go all the way back to his junior year in 2011 at the Governor's Academy, where Robinson got inconsistent minutes on his high school basketball team. He's well acquainted with uncertainty. He knows the way expectations weigh on a psyche. For Robinson, none of his accomplishments have been able to silence his perpetual angst. "I've always had this anxiety of am I good enough?" he told The Athletic. "Obviously, I have some God-given talents and abilities. I sort of feel my superpower has sort of existed in that space of I haven't really achieved anything yet." It's a healthy friction, he believes. A welcomed discomfort keeps him from complacency and pushes him toward progress. Robinson is now embarking on his 8th season after being undrafted. The ink is barely dry on his new 3-year, $48 million contract, adding to the $70+ million he's already earned. Yet, somehow, he still sees himself halfway up the proverbial mountain. The summit never gets closer. He's perennially in the same spot, high enough up to know he can achieve success, yet far enough away from the peak to prevent any real sense of security. Robinson is acutely aware of his shortcomings. He knows he's no physical prodigy. His measurables don't stack up in a league full of athletes. He's 6'7" and shoots with the best of them, but that's not enough for ease. Robinson likes the razor's edge, as he calls it, the feeling that he's never arrived. The 31-year-old forward is now 423 regular season games into his NBA career, has shot 39.7% from 3 during that time, and has NBA Finals experience. But still, Robinson battles the voice in his head, questioning his on-court worth. After being considered an underdog for the majority of his career, Robinson found himself starting a career-best 72 games in 2020-21. It was the season after he solidified himself as a pillar of the Miami Heat's rotation. Robinson's opinion of himself began changing as well. "The public perspective shifted my own perspective of myself," he said. "The challenging part of that was realizing and coming to terms with the fact that a public perception should not be indicative of or define how I think of myself or the process in which I take to get to the person that I want to be. As much as somebody can tell you, don't worry about what someone's saying, or don't worry about that, we're all human beings. We see and hear things around us all the time. So, working through and getting to the other side of that, of I'm not defined by being an underdog, I'm not defined by being overpaid, I'm defined by what I show up and do every single day." What Robinson did with his time in Miami was enough for Detroit's president of basketball operations, Trajan Langdon, to acquire him via a sign-and-trade that sent Simone Fontecchio to the Heat. Robinson is the second oldest player on the roster, behind 33-year-old Tobias Harris. His reluctance to settle and desire to persevere will be necessary on a team with a median age of 24.6, looking to advance past the first round. It could become a beneficial partnership for both Robinson and the Pistons. For Robinson, it's an opportunity to grow into a more expansive leadership role. For the Pistons, the franchise can now gain from his experience. Robinson brings a wealth of NBA knowledge. He understands what it's like not getting much playing time. He knows the feeling of hearing his name called as a starter, and the feeling of being relegated back to the bench after being a starter. The moments in my career where, on paper, are the biggest accomplishment are the moments where you have everything figured out have been followed by these just gut-punching setbacks. And that's what life is, a lot of times. Everyone can sort of relate to that. It's not necessarily the fact that you go from a high to a low, but it's how you respond to it and how you find some equilibrium to find the peace and drive to continue to push forward.